All right, good evening, fellow traders. This is David Whiteley with ULTradez. I forget the name of my channel. David Whiteley with ULTradez coming to you this Friday evening with my trade recap video. It's a little bit later today because I was in the chart. I was in front of the charts like laser focused from probably 7:30 this morning Central Time till 2:30, 3 o'clock Central Time, and I was mentally exhausted by the end of that. So I went for a run. I took a nap, and then I tried to get back on, and Rhythmic was not connecting and some things. So it took me a minute to sort of get situated here. So it's coming out a little bit later on Friday than it normally does. But overall, today was a very challenging day. There were lots of good opportunities, though. We started off with some headwinds. We were able to gain some traction back. If you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. I am in the process of working to get 20 Apex accounts funded. And yeah, we're working through that process. I provide these daily recap videos, mostly for myself, to be honest. It helps me to make good decisions if I know I have to be accountable to you every day. And then if, I'm happy to share whatever lessons I learn in this process, and hopefully that is of some benefit to you. If you find it interesting or useful, be sure and subscribe so that you get notified when new content comes out. And let's get right into it. So today, overall, now, if you remember my video last weekend where I kind of went over, where I'm at, what's my plan, you'll remember that I was really working. I wanted to have some of these accounts past the finish line today. This would have been day 7 for some of them. And that was the mission. This week overall was challenging, so I didn't make as much progress through the week as I would have liked. Unfortunately, I didn't cross the finish line with any of them today. However, I'm pretty happy overall with the performance, truthfully. Now, that may not make sense when you look at the P&L, which is kind of all over the place. So let me explain. All right, so here we have a variety of accounts. A couple of these are like brand new ones I just got yesterday. I don't know which ones those are, but I just got last night with the 90% off sale that's going on right now through August 10th. So if you weren't aware of that, evaluation accounts are 90% off the first month. Be sure and use our code if you would. If you want to go pick one of those up, it's a great time to do that. Anyway, so the first trade of the day, let's start these 4 accounts here. Now, this is a screenshot because I knew Rhythmic was going to reset, so I took a screenshot of this P&L before it did, just to make things a little bit easier. So these 4 accounts, this one with a current balance of 51,077, 51,360, and then these two $48,000 ones in gray. These were the 4 that I was hoping to get across the finish line today. We came into the day at about $51,000. As you can see, the first trade of the day was a loser with the full 10 contracts, and so that was $1,000 down. Truthfully, I'm pretty happy with my reaction to that. I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but it didn't ruin my day. I was able to regroup, refocus, and push through, and was able to make most of it back. So let's talk about these two. $2,300 loss. Now, this was a trade copier issue. And truthfully, I don't even know what the issue was. What had happened was I got into a trade, and I'll show that to you. Well, actually, let me just do that rather than doing it twice. Let's see if I can find where that was at. Right here. Okay. So I had got into this trade. We're in this downtrend. Get rid of this channel here. We were in this downtrend. Okay, we'd created this new low. We pushed back up here, and this entry wasn't. I mean, it really wasn't a good entry. I jumped the gun a little bit because I noticed up here. I mean, we're not really respecting these lines exactly. In this one, we blow through the 1 minute gold line up to the 1 minute red line, which is the 1 minute 21 EMA or SMA. Sorry, 21 SMA. The 21s, the red lines are SMAs, the gold lines are EMAs. before we drop down. So I saw the same kind of behavior here. And I mean, this looked like a pretty strong pullback. So I went ahead and entered after a break of this candle here. And you can see it immediately just pulls back and keeps running up. Now, this yellow arrow here is where the stops were for all of the other accounts except for these 4. Put them over here. Except for these 4, okay? So when I got stopped out, I'm thinking, oh, great, there's another stop out. But, you know, obviously I saw that the P&L for these 4 accounts was still like going red. And so I'm like, great. Now it was kind of bouncing around. So I thought, well, maybe it's going to reject off this gold line. So I hesitated for a second. And then it just rocketed up. So I'm like, okay, I got a bell. So one at a time, I closed these 2. In the time it took me to close those 2, this candle had opened and started pushing up. And I decided to pause for a second because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, this is a nice pullback into this red line, right? I mean, this would be this would, like, again, it's not perfect because it's not respecting these lines as cleanly as we would like to see, right? We would like to see this one cross and then this one pull down. But the one that kind of touches it and doesn't even quite touch it is the one that pulls down. So it's not clean by any means, but these two, or, you know, the entry off of here was still running on these guys. And so I said, well, maybe, you know, I was already like, you know, $2,500 down. I'm actually pretty lucky that it didn't go a little further. Otherwise it would have hit the trailing stop on these. But it didn't. So we pulled back down, and I don't know exactly where I got out. But I did get out for a little bit of profit. I don't think I held it very long. I could have held it longer. I was really just happy to get out of the trade without, you know, this $2,300 loss in front of me here. So that's why those are that way. You know, I don't know why the trade copier didn't enter those in. I suspect it had something to do with how I had the trade copier set up. So I had it, let's see if I have, no, it's reset everything. Rhythmic's being really weird tonight. I mean, I have the data connected, but it's showing I have no buying. I mean, you can't trade right now anyway, but look at this. Boom, it's showing zeros and everything. So I don't know, they must be like updating their system or something. So I don't have all the information available to me at the moment. But so I mean, that wasn't like, you know, I was trading wildly or anything like that. Oh yeah, the trade copier. Sorry, I got distracted. So the way that I had the trade copier set up was I had 4 contracts on my leader account, which is my little $25,000 account. And I wanted 10 contracts in the bigger account, so I did 2.5 times my 4 on the trade copier. And I don't know if that confused it or had. That's the only thing I can think of that may have created some kind of a glitch. Otherwise, I don't know why I didn't put in stop loss and profit targets for these 4 orders on this entry. So that's what that was. So those were my trades in oil. I didn't have any other trades. And if I go back to the very first one, I can show you the loser that kind of started my day off on the wrong foot. You can see we're coming into the day, you know, kind of chopping around. But it looks like we're moving up. We have a high, we have a low, we have a higher high, and then we come down into our averages. So we have a nice strong pull down, and it looks like we have a nice good reaction off of basically everything, right? So I go ahead and enter in off the break of this candle because this is the candle that closes below, you know, all the lines. And then it turns around on me. The only thing that I should have done differently is really, especially with the position size that I was playing, I should have moved my stop up behind this candle here once it closed, and I would have saved myself, you know, a couple of ticks there. That's really the only thing. You know, the other thing is it is risky sometimes playing in this opening 15 minutes, but I've seen plenty of times where, you know, this setup happens and it just goes. So, you know, it failed. Not every trade's gonna win. I can't really, you know, beat myself beat myself up over that trade. But like I say, I was very happy with the way that I sort of recovered from that. So then after that, I moved over to ES, and so I think I've mentioned before, but I also trade SPY, well, actually SPX options, and I watch the SPY chart as I do it. And SPY and ES are basically both S&P 500 instruments, and so they really track together. So I am pretty comfortable with the movement of ES, and so I had some really good trades on this this drop early in the morning on SPY and SPX. And so after I got fed up with oil because it just wasn't cooperating, I said I was watching the price action over here, and these trades don't follow the gold line, red line strategy. These are purely price action trades, and they worked out really well. So I traded, I got in here, I got out here. So I traded ES all the way down the rest of the afternoon. And I mean, I'm not going to go through all of these, right? Some of them were winners, some of them were losers. None of them were, all the losers were small losers. All the winners were pretty decent winners. So overall, it was good. I kept checking in with myself kind of throughout the day, making sure that I wasn't just getting in trades to get in trades. I mean, sometimes when you're in these downtrends, it's easy to just sort of jump in on stuff because you think it's just going to go and go and go and go and go. I mean, some of these could have been better entries. But I really wanted to make sure I was still remaining as objective as I could, looking at the market. And when I got down to here, so this is, right at the end of the day, I don't like to trade after 3 o'clock because it either gets really wild or really flat. So I just don't like to do it. I knew we were nearing the bottom here, and I ended up actually with 2 losses here. So once I had these 2 losses at the end, I decided to call it a day. So long story short, it was an intense day. We're really in a good position with these 2 accounts and the, I think 4, like I said, I don't know which ones they are because it doesn't show me here, but I have 4 brand new accounts that I just started trading today. So I'm in good shape with those. I'm going to have to sit down probably tomorrow and kind of go through it, decide what my plan is going to be. If I'm going to add a couple at the 90% discount just to have those. And then I may do a video that just kind of goes through, my strategy going into next week. But I wish I could say I got some of these passed. But I'm happy to say that, the one debacle really was a technical issue. So I got to get it figured out. I mean, we can't have, you don't want to be doing that in your PA account. So, it's not good, but as far as my trading discipline and strategy, that was not at fault for these. That's the good thing. That's the good thing. All right. So that's what I've got. Hopefully you had a good day. And you traded your plan, and hopefully you found some success. If you did, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Hopefully you take some time this weekend to do the things that you enjoy in life, to reset yourself, to give yourself a mental break from trading, and come back stronger and ready to take on the market on Monday. So trade safe, trade your plan, and we'll talk to you Monday. Bye-bye.